Steelers and Ravens.
Listen, I'm going to take the 9.5. These are 38 times Tomlin and Harbaugh have met. The underdog's done very well in this series. 3-1 all-time against Baltimore in the playoffs. And the Ravens, they're 2-6 over the last 8 playoff games. And I love Lamar Jackson. He's not the same. He's been under 200 yards passing. They don't have Zay Flowers. They don't have another receiver. They have a good tight end, Lamar in a back. I mean, as a starter against the Steelers in the playoffs, he has struggled. And let's be honest, the Ravens' pass defense isn't great. You can move the ball, chop it up offensively. I think the Ravens win. A 9.5, as Mike Tomlin's the best underdog coach in a decade. 27-23, Baltimore wins. I'm going to take the 9.5 points.
Ooh, this is juicy. Juicy. All right, as you guys know, when I talk about these games, I'm not talking about the spread or betting or anything like that. I'm just, using this as a jumping off point to talk about the game. So Colin thinks that the Steelers are going to lose, and it seems like that's what everyone says. Everyone is saying that the Steelers are going to lose this game. I have not really come across anyone, and if you guys have it, please let me know. But I have not come across anyone that's actually predicting that the Steelers will win this game. And it's interesting to me because, as you even just saw Colin here going on the whole long rant about how the Ravens defense isn't, is kind of not that great, and that Lamar doesn't play great in the playoffs, and the Ravens as a whole don't play great in the playoffs, and they don't play that well against the Steelers. Like, you have all of this evidence, all of this data, all of this past history, but then everyone's still being like, but nah, never mind. And Zay Flowers is gone, et cetera, et cetera. But nobody is really giving the Pittsburgh Steelers any type of support. And, yeah, it's fascinating. It's not surprising at all from my viewpoint for a couple of reasons. I think even if the Pittsburgh Steelers were playing better over these last few weeks, because they haven't been, and Steelers fans have to admit that they have not been playing great ball over these last however many weeks. And I think if they had been, you would still get this similar doubt, because I don't think the media has been supportive of the Pittsburgh Steelers at all throughout this season. But I think that it still would have been at least like, I think maybe like if Zay went down, then people would be like, I don't know, this maybe is enough for the Steelers to, take advantage. And I think it's a combination between the Ravens have been playing really great over the last few weeks, as well as beating the Steelers, and the Steelers not playing good over the last few weeks. And you combine them together, Ravens at home, the Ravens have a ton of momentum. You have Tom Brady saying that this team is a sleeping giant. It just changes everything. It changes the public perception. Whereas the Pittsburgh Steelers are kind of talking about, do we start Justin Fields at half if we're not doing anything offensively with Russ? And you're like, that's not the situation you want to be in either. Like, if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, like, that's got to be pretty uncomfortable going into this game where you're like, all right, if we're down 14-0, is Russ going to be benched and then we're going to throw in Justin Fields? And it's just like, and I'm not saying that that's the wrong decision. I'm just saying it's just not where you want to be. That's not the energy, the mentality that you want going into this game. You had Mike Tomlin being like, yeah, I'm open to having Justin Fields do some stuff. And you're just like, I don't want you to be open or closed off to anything right now this season. Like, right now, you should have everything figured out. You're going into the playoffs. You should know exactly what you want to do, what you need to do, and what you can't do. You need to know all of those things. What you want to do, what you need to do, and what you can't do. Those are the 3 things you need to know going into the playoffs. And it seems like they're still figuring it out. And that's uncomfortable. And again, you have some fans that like to reject some of those truths. And I don't mean Pittsburgh Steelers fans specifically. I just mean sports fans in general. I'm the type of person who, I do a little bit of both. I like to acknowledge the reality. Then if I disagree with the reality, I'll try to find ways how I can talk myself up and be like, no, there's a way. Yeah, I get it. We're terrible at running the ball. But you know what? I really believe that, like, this other team's really not that good at the run defense. And I think, blah, blah, blah. Like, you always have that hope. Always have that hope that, I have that backup hope. You throw in that backup quarterback, and that backup quarterback is going to ball out for 410 yards, 4 touchdowns, like a Disney Channel movie type stuff. Like, I always have that sports optimism because I've seen it in real life, like just myself on the field, let alone me watching these games over the years, over the decades. So it's just like a real thing that you get to witness. But it is. I think it's fair to accept and acknowledge that if you're a Steelers fan, you're uncomfortable going into this game. You're uncomfortable with the momentum or the lack of momentum that the Steelers have and the questions and the conversations that are being had. Because now Russ is going into this game thinking, am I going to be benched? You don't want that. You don't want that at all. You don't want Russ to be like shy in this game, nervous in this game. You want Russ to feel like, hey, I've been here multiple times. I've been here a ton of times. Bro, I'm a Super Bowl winner. I've been to not one, but 2 Super Bowls. You realize majority of these people have never even been to a Super Bowl, let alone 2? Do you realize majority of these people have never even won a Super Bowl? They've never even been to a Super Bowl, let alone win a Super Bowl. I've been there. I don't want to hear about that it was a long time ago. It doesn't matter. What do you think? I'm 70 years old here? On a rocking chair? Get out of here. Like, that's the mentality you want him to have. Not, oh, is Justin Fields gonna start the second half if it's 21-7? So it's dicey, man. It is. It really is. I'm pumped for this game. I really am. I'm pumped for all these games. But this game is like, Steelers, Ravens, name up in lights, night game, playoffs, Saturday. And Saturday playoff games hit a little differently. Because you still got that Sunday. You don't got to like go to work. You don't got to deal with Monday. You don't got to deal with like, Monday's Monday, man. I don't think about Monday. Saturday, though? Oh, yeah, man. I've been thinking about it all day today into Saturday, and then into Saturday. I'm recording this on Friday, posting it on Saturday. So I've been thinking about it all Friday. And now, obviously, all Saturday. I assume I'm going to be thinking about it all Saturday. I know I am. These games, I'm going to be, like, sleeping in as much as I can. Because I just want to be able to wake up and just, like, have football start. But, yeah, man. I'd love to know how Pittsburgh Steelers fans are feeling about this game. How you balance the belief, the optimism, the pessimism. Do you feel that you have a real chance? Do you think you're about to shock the Ravens here? And it would shock the NFL. It would shock the NFL world, man. It would shock every single media personality out there, both YouTube and TV. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.